Hi, and welcome to our 5-day healthy lunch challenge. I really hope that we are all able to get a lot out of it, and I appreciate you being here. It's the first of many. There will be some that are these challenges, there'll be others where it'll be more about making healthy medicine or herbal medicine. So we're going to be jumping around like that, but it'll all have things to do with health, especially when we come to chronic illness. My experience is with multiple myeloma, which is a blood cancer. And one of the very first doctors that we read was Dr. Patrick Quinlan. And his book was Healing Through Nutrition. And the thing is, it's not just for cancer, it's really for any health issues, especially chronic health issues, whether it is any inflammatory illness, the autoimmune illnesses which cause a lot of inflammation. So that's what we're dealing with is cancers also cause a lot of inflammation, especially in your kidneys, your liver, your internal organs really struggle, and of course the pain, the amount of pain. So what the nutrition challenge is to try and get foods as alkaline as possible, but we still need balance. So as much as we need a more alkaline diet or eating plan, we do still need a particular amount of acid in our body. Our body always comes to a place of homeostasis, which is a evening out, a leveling, a balance of our body systems. So that's kind of where we are working from. I'm only going to be taping this once. I know that I'm doing a lot of umming and ahhing. Forgive me. This is the first of many, so I ask you just to bear with me. We'll get better with each challenge. One thing that I do want to make very clear is that to find a healthy plan of eating that works for your health issues takes a lot of work. And I'm hoping that by just narrowing it down in a way to being alkaline, healthy options, less preservatives, less additives, to try and get back to as healthy an eating as possible. Lots of vegetables, healthy oils, healthy fats, those kind of things. And also a certain amount of carbohydrate, because we need carbohydrates. We have to reach homeostasis. A lot of eating plans cut out something totally. And this total cutting out is a very drastic step that our bodies don't really need, not to that extent. This has come with a lot of learning. I've gone from being really fundamentally, I have to follow this kind of diet and eat only this kind of food, just to find out that my body actually felt more tired, had less energy, or I got sick more often, my immune system struggled. So it's finding the sweet spot between your body type, your health issue, and your state of mind. Trying to eat real food without preservatives, refined foods, hormone-free foods, it's not as easy as it sounds. A lot of those foods, if you buy them in a health shop or a shop of any sort, are more expensive because they have to be eaten in a shorter amount of time. They have a shorter shelf life. They need more. I'm going to use the wrong word here, but more work in order to make it work. Whereas if you can just preserve a whole lot of food and do it in one fell swoop and it lasts for 2 or 3 years, that much easier. If we are going to use preservatives, we do use natural preservatives, naturally. Things like kombucha, vinegar, apple cider vinegar, oils, olive oils, avocado oils, coconut oils. They preserve food to a certain extent. They also preserve herbs to a certain extent. They do have a shorter shelf life than, say, the vinegars do, but it is a better option. So we have things like kimchi, which is, I think the preservative there is salt. Those kind of ideas are things we have to also remember. What kind of preservatives you're using? If it's a natural preservative, of course, it's acceptable. I am reading from notes, so please forgive me. The other thing, as I said, well, no, it's part of the same point, is the expense. I don't know, there's not many of us who are not on a budget of some sort. Those who are not, I do. I think that it's wonderful if they can afford a dietitian, a healthy eating plan, all organic, the best of everything. That is an ideal that we would all aspire to. And it's not a reality, though. Most of us have to be careful of our budgets. And this is something we've also had to take into account. So, where possible, I always try and buy, especially my vegetables and my eggs, as organically as possible. Free-range eggs, I do. I'm quite picky about my eggs. So if I can rather go for free-range from a small holding or a small farm, that's what I do. Otherwise, if those are out of my price range at the time, I will go for the grain-fed eggs in a shop where it says that there's no fish meal or hormones used in the feeding of the chickens. These are things that we do have to look out for, and I'm hoping also in this 5-day challenge that I'm able to give you some advice which will make your journey that much simpler. You'll also notice we're just doing the lunches. An interesting point of view is if we change everything all at once, I'm not sure if it's our bodies that rebel or our minds that rebel. It's like we take away all our favorite foods all at once. It can be overwhelming, intimidating, and make for a lot of stress. So we are doing 5-day challenges. The first one is lunch. We'll do 5-day breakfast challenge, and we'll also do a 5-day dinner challenge. We'll do a 5-day snack challenge, 5-day, how do I get some nice sweets into my diet that is as healthy as possible, that will help me not to feel like I'm being cheated from anything. And that's important for our mindset. Please get me on that. Of course, you'll see me starting with lunch because I find that lunch is one of the hardest for me to remember. It's in the middle of the day when we're working, or we have to go shopping quickly for the household in the afternoon, or we have to pick up kids, and so we're eating a quick bag of chips in the car or whatever it is. Very often our lunch is the one that suffers. So what we're doing here is looking at what kind of prep can we do that makes it as simple as possible, as tasty as possible, and as quick as possible. Today, being day 1, I'm starting with more of a comfort food because we're in winter coming into spring. We're starting this on the 5th of September, so it's kind of almost spring. It's the spring month. And so we're still having cold days. So today was a cold day, and you'll see that the meal for today is accordingly. But this meal can be eaten warm, and it can be eaten cold, yeah. So you can prep the night before and have it the next day without a problem. Easy to take if you work away from home, easy to keep in the fridge if you work at home. If you're on the road, it's easy to put into a container and eat. It doesn't need any special circumstances. And I'm hoping to give you as many of those meals as possible because of our lifestyles. I'm so sorry. So all these options, I'm so sorry. It's so funny. When you want something to work, it's okay. Yeah, as I said, they can be made in advance. And also, we're doing this absolutely free of charge. There will come a time when I'm asking, when I'll put things behind a paywall, but that'll just be so that for the information that that is more intense, if you like. But I'm going to try as much as possible to make as much of this as free as possible, because I know the expense of living with a terminal illness or a chronic condition. So when it comes to food, there's no one size fits all. There are many of us who are vegetarian. There are others who are who do have fish, who are strictly. I never know if it's vegan or vegetarian. The ones who are strict and they won't have any eggs or cheeses or yogurts or anything that comes from an animal. Anyone can adjust these plans accordingly. You can put your own protein in, you can cook it up differently to suit your particular way of eating and your particular belief system. Whether that belief system is that I need more vegetables for my health, or I need a more balanced diet for my health. That is, we're not here. We all are on our own journeys. So there's no like, oh, you have to do it this way. If needed, you may need to visit a dietitian. For example, there's a friend of mine who has kidney disease, and it's a stage 4 kidney disease, and she has to be very, very careful of what she eats. So she goes to a dietitian who is able to put her onto the kinds of foods that have got less of the potassium and the phosphorus and so on, to help take any burden off her kidneys. And then, of course, there's other health issues where you cannot eat a red protein. You would need to eat a fish or a vegetable protein. Secondly, I'd like to ask you to keep a journal or a notebook. This will just help you to see how did this particular meal help you? Did you find that you were hungry afterwards? Did you find that it was too messy to eat? It took too long to make? Let's talk about these things. There is a Facebook page called Sue Spicy Kitchen. I'd love for us to talk about these things. You're welcome to WhatsApp me privately, private message me on Instagram or Facebook, email me, any of those. The email and my WhatsApp number will be in the description below of this video. This video is available on YouTube, but it is behind a code, because it is only for those who've agreed to go on this journey. And also, was the food boring? Or are you still hungry when you finished the food? And also, living in South Africa, where most of the year is quite warm. Well, I live in Durban, and which is one of the hotter places, very tropical kind of climate. I have now moved up to Pinetown, which is slightly away from the coast, and so it is cooler, but it's still hotter for most of the year than it is cold. We don't have snow and frost and that kind of thing. So if the weather is too hot, what conditions, what foods would last if you're on the road, if you're a salesperson or an electrician or someone who's traveling, and how would you keep it cool? Have you got a cooler box that's easy to take around, easy to remember, whatever your circumstances are. And it would be fun as well to put together some winter lunches for those who are in the colder climes of South Africa, who may still have cold weather, or especially cold days for the next month or so. I'd also like to challenge you to try and extend the food lunches, the lunches into doing dinners and breakfasts, and if we can do those together, it would just be great fun. In this section, because our lives are busy, we need to find foods that are easy to prep, which is what I have tried to do. And this first one is after my talking with you now. There is a video that I've put together. Again, I've had to put 3 little videos together plus this one. So if there's a jump, forgive me. I am not a technician. This is not what I do for a living, and I am hoping to learn as we go along so that there'll be more of a flow. So these first few, I'm hoping that you'll still be able to follow along. So as I say, week 1, we're making a couscous and roast vegetable salad. And I hope that you enjoy it. And I'll see you again tomorrow for the next video. Bye. The first prep is for, we're doing a roast vegetable and couscous salad. So this is just the roast vegetable preparation. I love doing as much as possible rainbow colors. So we start with some potato. I'm only doing enough for one person because that's how I would cook lunch for my health. If there's 2 of you, you of course would just change the amounts accordingly. So what I've used here for the potato is for my health condition, I'm allowed baby potatoes or sweet potatoes. They are like the best that I can have. Especially baby potatoes, once they are cooled, they don't have as much starch, which of course converts to sugar. So there we go, that's the baby potatoes. I did 2 of those. Then we put the carrots. You'll see they're brown on the edges because I don't peel them, I just scrape them. So that's carrots. It's just 1 carrot, and as per usual, carrots, there's always so much. Then I'm going to put some yellow pepper, and then some lovely rosa tomatoes. The rosa tomatoes I'm leaving whole because then all the juice doesn't come out, and when they're inside the salad, they are lovely and squishy. My favorite. Then you can put red onion or white onion. It's absolutely up to you, whichever is your favorite. I love red onion, but I had a white onion, so that's what we've got. And then some garlic. Now, you can crush it, you can grate it, or I just do pieces like this because I enjoy the taste of the garlic in my mouth. Then we get avocado oil. I'm not going to show you the front because it is from my supplier, but a good avocado oil, if you can get it cold pressed, that is the best. And I put 15 mils of olive oil and 30 mils. Why do I do that? Because it's my oil consumption for the meal, and I love it. Then we do the pepper. I like this kind of black pepper. You can use whichever pepper you like. And also I prefer the Himalaya salt. It's in a Cerebos salt container, but that's just for ease of use. And then just 1/4 of a teaspoon of paprika. This is normal paprika. If you prefer smoked paprika, you can use it. And then you can put cumin if you like cumin, coriander powder, any powder if you like. And then we mix it. I'm just going to use this, but of course I forgot. So mix it nicely, get that oil coating over everything. Make sure the paprika is coating everything. Mix it beautifully well. Make sure all the flavors are intermingled. All right. Now this will go into the oven at 180 degrees for 20 minutes. I have a convection oven at my mom's house, which I'm using. If you have a normal oven, you may need 30 minutes. That's totally up to you. So stick around. We'll see you when it's cooked. Okay, so here we go. The veggies are ready. I had to eventually, it was 40 minutes, mainly because of the potato. I didn't cut the potato small enough, and the carrots as well. And now it's on to making the couscous. I use a whole wheat mix of semolina and durum wheat mix. And I'm going to, because it's for one person, I'm doing half a cup. Okay, so half a cup of couscous, and then you put exactly the same amount of boiling water. So here's the boiled water. Do half a cup. And we pour it straight over. At this stage, I like to add a little bit of black pepper and a teaspoon of butter. That much is fine, because it's just for one person. And then it gets covered with a plate, and I leave it covered for about 15 minutes or so, and we'll be back. I'm plating the lovely couscous. So the phone isn't working properly. So the couscous, I'm only using about half because I've got a very small appetite, but I still try and eat healthy. And this is great because it'll do 2 meals quite easily. From there, I'm going to add all these lovely veggies, making sure I get some of everything, I mean. Right, and that will go into the second half, so nothing is going to be wasted. But then I like it to have a protein, so I'm using some feta cheese as my protein. You can use whatever you like, or if you like, you can have protein on the side. You can add chickpeas if you are vegetarian. You can add vegetable or nut cheeses if if you prefer. It's totally up to you. You do what's right for you. And there we go. Simple. And the nice thing about this is that it can be put into a container and taken to work. You can do it the night before, put it in the fridge. It's lovely and cold and ready for you to take to work. This is delicious. I enjoy it both hot and cold. Today I'm going to eat my lunch nice and hot. So, bon appetit. And we will see you tomorrow for the next video.